Good morning and welcome to Comics and Coffee with Cliff, with our lovely returning guest, Matt from Heroes for Hire Club. We'll be back in just a few seconds, actually, right after this very important message. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for waiting for us to get things started on time. We're here. Matt has returned very graciously since I had a cancellation. I'm so happy all two of you are in the chat. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna say StreamYard doesn't know what they're talking about. So good morning to Thomas. And good morning, Phil's Treehouse. I appreciate you. And of course, Matt is omnipresent. Good morning, Brad. Good morning, JSS. James, thank you for being here. And Kevin, thank you for being here. Good morning. The Friends of Bill meeting. I'm not even sure what that means. I'm so confused.
Wrong meeting.
Yeah, wrong meeting.
It's Bill W. You know who Bill W is?
I feel like I know the meaning. Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, that's right. Yeah. There we go. I love that.
Wrong meeting, Kevin. Wrong meeting.
Just it's like, I'm here for the Friends of Bill meeting. It's like, hey. It's what was like the phone thing too. It's like,
Yeah, they used to do it over the phone. Like during COVID, they would do it like you could do like Zoom AA meetings. I think you still can. Anyway, that's a story for another day.
It's always. And if you do need help with any of your substance abuse issues, there are resources out there. Just use Google and get out there and get the help you need and find the support you need. I'm actually with Mary. She's all right. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Oh no. Well, thank you everybody for showing up. I appreciate you. So Matt, what is new in your world of comics this week?
Well, getting closer. You mean like in my sphere, or just like in the? I guess like
for you. Forget everything else. For you,
with my comic collecting goals or something. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, it's just like listen. I actually have to explain myself constantly to like what kind of vibe it is. It is about comic books, and if it happens to collide with recent events, fine. But I'm not that interested in recent events. It is Saturday morning. Has everyone and their mother has discussed the Superman clip, for instance, right?
Yeah. Right. We talked about it for an hour and a half on the Hangout show Thursday.
Right. There's nothing left for me to say. Crypto, you're a damn menace, but I think everybody has said that. I don't need to retread all the hot topics unless I think that there's something valuable for me to actually say that I feel like has not been said. Crypto's an adorable menace, but he's a little menace.
Well, if we're talking about in the world of Heroes for Hire Comic Club, we have several stuff coming on the show, but we'll talk about that later. In my collecting goals, I will say, as you know, Cliff, and probably a lot of people in the chat by now know because I go on about it ad nauseum, I am a huge G.I. Joe fan, and I'm collecting the entire Larry Hama G.I. Joe Real American Hero run. Well, I after I loaded them all in CLZ, I have like 86 out of 155.
Woo!
Hopefully by the end of the year, I'm not going to do a victory lap yet. I might be able to get it done. But I know one that will be done probably by the end of next month. I only need 7 more issues to have Wolverine 1 through 100. So I got that goal almost locked in. And other than that, just I did a lot of reading. I just read, one of the books we'll talk about in a minute. I just read, and a lot of good books out there. But I'm kind of struggling like you were. And you've already, I think, cut the cord.
I've cut the cord
with new comics. Of course, there's some I will continue. Luckily, though, I have my comic shop 35% off pre-orders. So I can lean on that a little bit, and that helps a little. But
so it's funny. If there's something rather special, I'll use it. But I gotta support my local comic shop. So like, that's my buddy and all.
I don't have that problem. I have no local comic shop, so
Yeah, there you go. So you could do it 100% guilt free, But yeah, man, I don't know. This week
there's so many books I want from especially like I've really started having a fetish for 1970s Bronze Age comic books. And there's so many like the Defenders, Invaders. I want to get. And
well, listen, you do one chunk at a time, because last year I attacked the Invaders and the Defenders, and I was all over the place. I think like I had obviously I had some successes.
Yep.
But those were well fought battles. Well fought battles.
I have so many things, and then I'll turn around and I'll have like 10 issues of Power Man and Iron Fist. I'm like, well, I guess I'm collecting this now.
No, that's not how it should be. You just put them aside and you don't look at them. All right? You look over at your G.I. Joe and go, "Ooh, I'm 10 issues away." Like, that's it. That's how you have to do it. Because cheating on your comic book goals, and I didn't coin this term, someone else did, but cheating on your comic book goals is brutal. All right? And that's how it gets all twisted up. And that's how you go from, oh, I want to get this Marvel team up, these Defenders, and this and these Invaders, and it shouldn't be so hard. And the next thing you know, you're sitting around and you're like, wow, but I got this first appearance of Vixen. Yeah. So
or I'll buy something random, Cliff, like the first appearance of the Supermobile.
Right.
I get it. I get excited. If you wave a set of keys in front of me, or a key issue of any kind, even if I don't collect it, that's my kryptonite.
And you have to fight. You have to fight.
Let me tell you a short story about how I can be sometimes eclectic about how I can be about it, and just if I get in the mood. Okay, you ever get in the mood? I know we all do, right? And I won't get into current events, but I was kind of stressed out over a couple of things in my life, and I was like, I'm not going to spend any more money on any more books for a couple of weeks, yada, yada, yada. Everybody says that kind of thing. So then I'm on YouTube, and happens to be Wednesday night, which is when West Coast Avengers has his claim sale. And he's like, oh, we got the $5 round. If you get 4 $5 books, you get one for free. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get a few of them. And then he's like, oh, we got a $10 round. If you get 2 $10 books, you get another $10 book free if you claim it. So I did that twice. Then I realized, oh crap, I think I'm going to have to send this man $131 tomorrow now. So
well, this week on Wednesday night, you can avoid claim sales by joining me on Guess That Key at Sector 2815, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can try to figure out what on earth I'm doing with this book, and we're it's going to be great.
Oh, Cliff, I have a good one lined up. Nobody's going to see it coming, because I was like, Matt, don't pick a G.I. Joe book or a Wolverine book or Captain America. That's the first thing they're going to guess because of me. They know I got the shield behind me. They know how I like G.I. Joe. So I'm throwing in a curveball. That's all I'm going to say. I can't tell you anymore. So it should be fun.
I love a curveball. And I was very happy. When Voggs was on. He not only did he do a great job, but I loved that he had a curveball comic with him, because like Rogue and Batman are obvious answers. So it was like, great answer.
I was worried he was going to go with that Avengers Annual there for a minute. I said, don't do it, Will. I kind of
no. But it was. I feel very special because it was cute. One night we were just chatting, and he's like, so I have a few, and first thing I said was like, don't go with Rogue or Batman. He goes, no, I know, I'm not going with Rogue or Batman. I was like, he's already planning. I love it. I love it curved, said Cliff. For the record, I don't love it curved if it's inside a CGC slab. That is problematic.
There you go.
The Cliff Lift. Yes, the Cliff Lift is coming to Heroes Con the Cliff Lift is coming to Heroes Con June 19th. Be prepared. And also coming to YouTube in 5.5 hours, I'm going to be on Omnidog's Vault with Omnidog Jess himself and Lobster Hybrid with Elon, and also Omnibo, Bo, and maybe Matt. We're squeezing in an international cavalcade. So let's see what happens at 5 p.m. Eastern today.
Which you see, I have been getting guests signed up for my show, so we got a lot of great guests coming up. So that should be fun. I got I don't know if anybody knows Kurt's Comic Reviews, but there's a younger guy, and he did like a video where he went to every comic shop in Georgia. I didn't know him.
Yeah, and it was right after the storm too. Yeah.
And I didn't know him at all, so I just reached out, and he's like, "Yeah, it sounds like fun." Immediately, that's the kind of answer I like to hear. Yeah, right away. And
I love it.
We had fun with Madam. I don't know if you watched that one, but that was
I did. You were a great episode.
I don't know. We got a kind of a rapport, I thought. So I like it when the guests get along and it's just free flowing. I hate it when I have to answer. Like some guests, and not to call anybody out. I'm not going to call anybody out. That would be wrong. But it's like that with anything. It's hard. Some people, it's hard to get an answer out of. You know what I mean? Like you got to pull it out of them. Like they want to give a short answer. And to an interviewer, I've noticed that's kind of like the death knell if they give short answers, because you kind of have to pull it out of them, like I'm turning into like Geraldo Rivera or something.
Yeah, but, sometimes you listen. That's the art of conversation, right? One question followed up by another, followed up by another.
I just do standard questions, but the rest of it I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants because I'm a fly by the seat of my pants man.
Elon is very excited. I don't even have my four books picked out for today yet, but that's okay.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to doing a lot of videos with people at Heroes Con, so that should be really great being down there. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't had a vacation in 5 years, so.
Well, first of all, vacation.
Maybe longer than that.
Right on. Second of all, you know what? I have no idea what I'm doing at Heroes Con. I have no idea. Like, I'm so focused on just physically getting there. Like, all of my attention and energy is just going into that.
I think we need to do a good Cards Against Humanity game while we're down there, though.
Oh, yeah. We should. I'm like, so like Friday night was the big hangout, right?
Yeah.
So there's a time, and I'm not sure if it's Friday night or Saturday night, but there's a moment that I've heard about, that has been whispered about, where a select group of our YouTube beloved ones just kind of vanish, right? And then and so the rest of us can just find some space to hang out and do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited you're gonna have Kurt on. I like him, and we need more young comic book YouTubers. I've had 2 on this show, or in this whatever. I've had 2 on my channel, right? I've had Master of Comics, and I've had I can't remember Jay's name. But anyhow, they've been here. It's been great, So, oh my God, why can't I remember it? This week is just old. My last 2 weeks have just been all brain fog. But speaking of younger and amazing, Swagda's going to be my guest soon. I believe. Where is my calendar? Because I can't see anything.
Not to switch gears again, but like, what? I'm almost as excited about being in a 4-star hotel as I am going to the con. To be honest with you.
Well, no, you should be excited about Swagda's going to be on April 19th, Saturday morning. It's going to be great. But you should be excited about a 4-star hotel, dude. I've only stayed in one 5-star hotel ever, and it was just like magnificent. It was just like, why? Like, it was just like, It's like, wow, this room is huge. And then also there was a phone everywhere. You know, there was a phone in the kitchenette, a phone at the bar, a phone next to the main couch, a phone in the shower, which, you know what, for emergency's sake, totally worth it.
Yeah. My old house used to have a phone in the bathroom like that.
Collector P, good morning. Oh my God, I was bitching about rich people yesterday to a friend of mine who works for a radio station and happened to be right outside my work at the McDonald's outside my work. So I walked down to say hello and get entered into the Dave Matthews Band concert contest, right? And so I was like, you've met rich people, and like the younger people with him are laughing, and I look at him and go, no, you know rich people because I've known him for a while, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, don't you hate it when you're in some rich bitch's home and they say some shit like, oh, everything here is outdated. It's been 5 years. It's time to remodel.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I'm like, what? Remodel the kitchen? Oh, my God.
I'm sorry you didn't get to remodel your kitchen for the last 6 months, but, you know.
No, right. I'm sorry it's been a whole 5 years since the kitchen remodeled.
I'm sorry, you know. I'm sorry you weren't able to like remodel it every 6 months, you know, like normal people, I guess. I don't think you call it normal. No,
it's every 5 years. It's a real thing. And the first time I heard this, not in real life, but on reality television, I was watching Real Housewives, and one of the housewives is visiting Sonia, who of course was in the middle of a divorce and a lawsuit and all sorts of crazy stuff. And everybody who worked for her was an intern, so she didn't have to pay them. And all this stuff, right? And one of the ladies is visiting her, and it's like, Sonia, what is going on in your life? You haven't even remodeled your kitchen in 10 years. And I was like, bitch, my kitchen's 17 years old. And that was the first time I heard it. Like, I've heard it like a thing, right? And I was like, y'all are crazy. And then I met a rich bitch who was like, yeah, it's been 5 years. It's time to remodel the kitchen. I was like, oh my God, this is like, rich people do this. No wonder we don't live on the same plane of reality.
They're like, can you imagine a billionaire being a stand-up comedian? You know how they try to make relatable jokes? Be like, I know everybody's been here. I hate it when your yacht in Belize gets stuck in customs, you know.
Exactly. Oh, because I put too much wine with me, you know.
I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for you, but I don't know. There will be signs though. If I win the lottery, there will be like Action Comics 1 standing behind me on the wall, probably, or just. Oh no,
there will be signs. The first sign will be one day none of y'all will recognize anything around me because it'll all be completely remodeled in a new location that I do not disclose. You know? It's gonna be like, if I ever hit Big Lotto, it's gonna be like some, what's her name? It's gonna be some Paris Hilton shit where you come up a private driveway to a private room where I do my interviews and everything, and then you leave from there and go out the private driveway, and that's it. You don't get to see the rest of the house. You don't, like, that's it. Just one big palatial portion of the palatial home, and then that's it. That's all you get.
I'm gonna be. We'll walk in my house, and there will be like an entire library that looks like the set of Batman '66, and I'm gonna have a button you can push under the statue. You know how you open the statue's head up?
Yeah, the Shakespeare statue. Yes.
And it'll open up a secret passage to the comic book room.
Yes.
It'll be like the Bat Cave in there.
So Velvet Joker mentioned,
I'll be broke, and then after that I'll be broke, right, Cliff?
Yeah, I know, right? But you know, the security system I'm gonna have is gonna be fire. Yeah. You know, it'll be like, this guest is not recognized. This guest is not recognized. I'm like, quiet. I know who it is. It's like voice authentication completed.
I want my dog to be able to walk up to the door like Crypto and just bark, and then the door goes.
You know what I love too is, you know, so James Earl Jones, his home was just let's say he's like 20 minutes away from here. His home was, right? Okay. And there were so many lion statues on the property. Like, I'm like, was this like a gift from Disney for the Lion King? Like, it was crazy. It was really beautiful.
He'll always be Mufasa to me.
Yeah. Everything has to be labeled, man.
Yeah.
So this is a shot in the dark. Van Wayne. Do you remember that comedy show on NBC that was based in the DC universe with Vanessa Hudgens, I think?
Oh, is that the one where they worked at an office and like they had like insurance for like people that get their homes destroyed by superhero? Yeah.
Yes. Right, and he played Van Wayne, Bruce Wayne's cousin.
It had what's his name? Danny Pudi. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Danny Pudi. You know, they had such a
great cast.
That show could have been something.
I know. I was so bummed about it. I like, why did this show? You know what though? It's like every time there's a show I like.
Yep, it's got to go.
Like Netflix. Oh, I'm really into this show. Well, no, we're canceling that. I'm like, well, crap on it. You know,
every freaking time. Every time.
There was a show called Altered Carbon or something like that, and you could like transfer your like memories in your brain to another body or something.
Yeah,
it's like futuristic, and they only had like 2 shows. Yeah, Community Rule, like Random Reads is talking about. That was my favorite show. That
show had to fight to be on the air all the time.
I know they were always in danger. Yeah.
Well, the final season aired on Yahoo. The final season aired on Yahoo.
Well, even Parks and Rec struggled. Like they thought they were going to get canceled like 4 times.
And then like their last 2 seasons, it was like, you know. And you want to know the main reason for the time jump in the final season?
Why?
Because she did not want to go through working with children.
Oh, really?
Right. She had already been a mother. Her kids, she's already spent time raising her kids, you know, getting them to you know, and she's like, no, I don't have any more energy for that.
You can't blame her for that. Yeah. I mean,
right. So if you notice, you only see her and Ben's kids in 2 episodes of the final season.
Oh yeah, that's true. You don't really see them much.
Yeah, because she's like, I have no energy left for this. None. And that's the reason for the time jump.
The true star of that show was Ron Swanson.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, let's be honest. There's a special magic she brought to being Leslie, right?
Oh yeah, it was just like the enthusiasm she brought to it, like really came through. Like I didn't think she was kidding. Like I love the part where she's like basically hitting on Joe Biden in front of her husband.
She's just totally enamored.
I love Chris Pratt was great on that show too. Like,
of course, and it helped make him a star.
Between him and Aubrey Plaza, they had great chemistry together, and it was a fun show. The same with Community. It was always a quirky story. It was always going to have a lot of pop culture references in it, a lot of movie references. You know, a lot of different things. Like they even did, for God's sakes, they did a G.I. Joe episode.
Oh, right, because he was in a coma. That was so good. He was in
a coma because he like took a bunch of pills or something. Yeah. But they've done so many the Dungeons and Dragons episodes, even though they banned one of them, which I don't know why
they unbanned it, by the way.
Oh, good, because that was like a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, we can take anything too far, you know, in the society, but like just the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing is just great that they did that. And you can tell that
it's actually a fantastic introductory episode. If you've never seen the show, I actually like showing people that episode first because it actually it tells you a lot about the characters immediately.
Yeah. And I don't know, just the whole the cast, you can tell they really liked it, working with each other. I mean, minus Chevy Chase, I know they had problems with him, but like the other cast members, they're still friends. You can tell they're friends. Like you see them when they interview together. And when is this movie coming out? Have they done the movie yet?
They keep talking about it. But remember, when people talk about wanting to make a project, there are other forces in play, right? Like people who have the rights, and then they've got to push it through. Like Smallville, the animated series, everyone's on board. Maybe not the girl, maybe not Allison, but everyone's on board.
Allison Mack's gonna be there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Chloe's just living her best life with Green Arrow over there. So they got everyone on board, but the guy who has the rights to it, to produce it, he has to fight to get somebody to option it. You know, so that's a whole thing. And so I imagine
already in pre-production.
What, the Community movie?
Yeah. But I was wondering if it could be scheduling because you got like Donald Glover. He's got a music career. I think he's retiring Childish Gambino, maybe after this last album, but he's probably still like promoting it, I'm guessing. And then
all right, it is still in pre-production. Filming plans are in place for California. Joel McHale's schedule has affected filming, not Donald Glover's.
Okay.
Danny Putty returns, Donald Glover, Allison Brie, Jillian Jacobs, Ken Jeong, no Chevy Chase, and Yvette Nicole Brown. Yeah,
Allison Brie, amazing. I love her.
She's amazing at everything.
She was in Glow. She was in that Glow series.
I didn't even recognize her in Glow. Amazing. Did you see that Lesbian Christmas movie on Hulu?
Yeah.
She's amazing in that. As the overly competitive sister, it's so good.
Well, some of these actors, I'm like, why don't they get more roles? Because, like, especially like the guy that played Dean Winchester on Supernatural, why is that guy not an A-level actor? I guess because he was on WB, right? The CW or whatever.
I'm sure that's part of it, but there's other issues too. Like finding good vehicles for you, finding people to take a chance on you, all of that.
He's a pretty good musician too. I've heard his music. He's a pretty good musician as well. I like him, but the crossover we all observed though is Buffy the Vampire Slayer crossed over with Supernatural.
Did it? No.
No, it should have. It should have. That
would have been fun. Listen, we got a Scooby-Doo crossover, and I thought that was amazing.
Oh, we got Velvet Joker here said, has anyone seen a Hong Kong Phooey live action clip yet? I didn't even know there was a thing. I saw the Naked Gun remake clip, and it was pretty funny.
All right, I'm going to just show the tiniest piece of this because I don't want to get caught.
Yeah, I understand. Oh my God, it is Hong Kong.
Okay, so I'm like, that's it. Do not want to get hit with anything,
Though it's not gonna be the same about Scatman Carruthers doing the voice though.
Oh, and the new Naked Gun clip was really cool. Yes. I love it.
And everybody's already talked about Superman at nauseam. We don't have to talk about that.
No, but what we do have to talk about, I'm not going to get into a comic book of the week, mostly because I don't have a comic book of the week. So I'm going to jump right ahead to.
Okay.
So, fun fact about the book.
My comic book of the week up.
I'll do your comic book of the week. Don't worry. All right. So, fun thing about the book that I'm about to reveal. The book I'm about to reveal is on the cover price 2021 top 10 of comics that sold the most units in subsequent printings, which means it is not a first print and it sold a lot of units. This one sold 334 units, putting it at number 8 in 2021. And it was published by Bad Idea. And I got this slabbed copy in a 9.8 for $10.
$10?
$10. Because,
it cost $25 to get it graded.
Right. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. There were no bids happening on this thing. But I gotta say, look at all that wonderful packaging. So it's ENIAC number 1, the not first print edition is what it's referred to.
Okay. And what's the story about?
I have no idea. All I knew is that I was going to get this 9.8 for $10, and I knew that it was a Bad Idea comic that was popular. And look at this, is a crazy back.
Wow. Somebody's been in a fight.
Yeah, Matt Kent, Braithwaite on art. I know him and I like him. This is a Louis La Rosa and Laura Martin cover, and it does. And if you notice, the cover has some interesting texturing to it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not.
I can see it.
So anyhow, I just saw, well, for $10, and see, this is how they get you, Matt. I should have not been spending money. That's how I got it, right? But look what happened. For $10, got inside my head.
Well, hey, like that when I was like, buy 4, get 1 free, right? The same thing happened to me, Cliff.
Exactly. Just watch Get That Key this week, people. Save your money. Well, actually, you know what? Do whatever you want with your money. But if you're going to HeroesCon, save your money.
Yeah, I am proud to report I have $1,000 saved.
You're doing better than me, buddy. You're doing better than me.
Half of it goes to the hotel, though. You know what I mean? Half of it still goes to the hotel.
I still got to send Izzy my part of the money, but at least, you know, it's funny. Izzy's like, you know, the hotel's not really that expensive, and I was like, bitch, I'm like, listen. I was like, I need a good strong bathroom. I'm like, you know, I was like, by the way, like the whole trip for each of us is coming for the car and for the room, or sorry, the car and the Airbnb is coming out to like $300 a person. I refuse to believe it's going to come out the same with those hotel prices.
Yeah,
and all those additional
of the 1,000 I have saved, you know, half of that's going to go to pay the hotel room.
Exactly. But also, in all fairness, the hotel is doing much more for you.
Yeah, they are. They got a guy going to come up and help me because I'm handicapped. So
yeah, they're giving you a concierge. Like, of course, you're going to have the easy access. There's basically you are going to get all the benefits of the hotel, whereas it's like, oh no, we have to drive.
You think it's too much to ask if I can get a guy like Morris Day had to go around carrying his mirror so I can look at myself like the time?
Yes, that is too much. That is too much.
Okay,
but I do. But you know, I'm not sure what all the concierge duties are. But it sounds nice. Oh my God! Look at this chat. Holy cow! Look, Cuppy's here.
So
get over to hear me talk about him. Marcus, good morning.
Hey, Marcus.
Cliff and the Giant Peach. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, other than the James and the Giant Peach reference. You know,
I think that's what it was. I guess.
Why was this scrapped? The Kung Fu looks great. Yes.
Oh, they scrapped it. Well, that's lame.
Oh yeah, they scrapped it years ago. I'm back. What I missed from Kung Fu. ENIAC is great. Hey, maybe I'll find a copy of it in a dollar bin. ENIAC Ashcan is counterfeit. The publisher published no such thing. Wow. Good morning, Trev. Okay. Now it's just good mornings and good mornings and good mornings and good mornings.
Oh, hey, back to like the retail therapy I did. It was just like this too. It was so random. I said, "Ooh, they have an ash can of Deep Space Nine." I have that,
right? Like it happens.
It happens. So here's mine. I got this, I guess, last month. I think it's been a month. I got it from my friend Platter of Santa. He's got like 10 copies of this book, so he's happy to let a nice copy go of the Godzilla King of the Monsters #1.
Oh man, love that.
And I've been wanting this book for a while. I got this with the Devil Dinosaur #1 too, which is dinosaurs. Jack Kirby. What else do I need to know, right? But this is just great too. And it's not in bad shape. I got to do this for my friend Platter of Santa because he says do the spine slide. It's got that right there, but I mean, it presents pretty well. So anyway, so that's it. I've always wanted this book. I had you remember the Shogun Warrior toys they had when they had the Godzilla with the fist that would shoot out of the hand. I had that one, lost the hand like a month into it, I guess. I was really little, but yeah, it reminds me of that toy. So, and I like Godzilla. So
I love it. I'm gonna say, how do you not love Godzilla? How do you not? But you know what I really like? I really like that the new Godzilla versus series for Marvel is just like, hey, what if Godzilla had never left the Marvel universe? Let's show you what would have happened.
Oh yeah, I like that too. And those I can't remember the artists, but I pre-ordered. I just was obsessed with them for some reason. All the ones that look like the fight card poster.
I love that. I love that, and I am highly
only one I ordered every copy ordered was that artist because I knew it was going to be that cover.
Yeah, no, that was a good call.
And here's
Very good
Trev.
call.
Hey Trev, I got your sticker here with me. I want to give away. Oh, can I share? Let me share something. Now that he's here, I just want to give him a shout out and show this. I know this is like breaking the rules or whatever, but rules are meant to be broken, right, Cliff?
Sure.
Right. This is what I won from Trev, the shipping guru, the other day. It was all. Is it like okay? All 6 issues of Ain't No Grave by Scotty Young.
Ooh.
That was on his birthday show, so thanks, Trev. Oh, and then Bruce was kind enough, Kingdom of Nerds, Brucifer, the Morning Star, as he refers to himself, was kind enough to like bestow this on me. A-OK. So
Mark Spears' goodness.
Since they were here, I just wanted to shout them out.
Listen, I love it.
Good,
I love it.
Decent dude.
You know
what? I got to say this too. What really touched me this week, on this community, is that how generous the people on YouTube and the people I know in general in the comic book community are. My friend Ron, who's a seller on Whatnot, he's almost single-handedly filled in my holes on the. That sounded wrong, but
the gaps in your collection. The gaps in your collection.
We were saying all kinds of weird things just on the claim sale, like stuff another one in my box. Like you might want to word that differently next time, but and
it is the whole thing.
They don't have to do that. He sent me a copy of also that guy. Ron sent me a copy of Uncanny X-Men 213. Was like, here you go, and then like he's always like give me stuff, and he another thing is he made me feel like when you think like I have no impact in the world whatsoever, like nobody cares.
Please do not
even what I'm saying though, right? Everybody gets down like that, right? He said, well, you were one of my inspirations because you were one of the first people I bought from on Whatnot, and you inspired me to start selling. I was like, well, thank you, sir. So
that is so sweet. I've been having a very hard.
It's always fun, Bruce. And Taylor's right. Filling holes can be shocking.
And Bruce
Taylor's
is right.
Always got some.
Be fun.
I don't know. Somebody was saying though, do you kind of have like a hangover after you like complete a run? Like what do I do now? Like like Alexander wept because there were no more worlds to be conquered. I mean,
no.
Or
you want to know why? You want to know why? Because in the world of comics, there are infinite worlds to be conquered.
That's
true. Number one. Number two, dude, I'm not even going for runs. I'm going for medium and small keys or medium keys. But the point is, that's what I'm going for right now, right? And then I'm going for slightly more ambitious things.
And I will here. He says,
"What did he say?"
Yeah, it Trev. Right, there's always the rabbit hole to go down. But yeah,
and we all need a manservant, Dan. Right. And let me tell you, I have priced it.
Who is the psychotic that created?
Look, those were young, strong people.
Well, like I said, I want a guy like nerds. I want to have, like I said, Bruce, I want to have a guy like my manservant, like Jerome was to Morris Day. and he'd go around, and he'd carry the mirror with him, and dust off his jacket, do a little dance with him, in sync. Everybody needs every Morse day needs a Jerome, right?
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Or like although I don't want to mention this guy, but it was the guy that had the Farnsworth or whatever his name was. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, he should not be named, because he's getting charged with certain crimes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. If it's okay.
Issues.
I just want to. I know we didn't play the segment, but this is the book that I just read like the other day. Image Comics.
There you go, sir.
I got the Peach Momoko cover, and actually, this is a great. I was like, I don't know what this is about. I don't know what to expect. This is like the one time when people's word of mouth really paid off. Because sometimes you hear it, and you're like, okay, I'll check it out. And you're like, I don't know why they recommended that. This is trash, but this is pretty good. It's Jason Aaron. Well, there's the artist.
I've heard nothing but good things about that book, And again, it's just going to end up being something I read as a trade or I pick up much later.
Yeah. Well, I get caught up in the FOMO. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, it's really good though. Like you get into it, it kind of reminds you. It's got like a sort of. You remember Sword of Adam? The sword of the Atom.
Sword of the Atom. Yep.
It has that kind of vibe to it. So I won't spoil it in case anybody's not read it. But check it out. All right. That's all.
I love
That's
that.
all.
I do love it. Sorry, I'm trying to monitor the chat and the chat.
Another book,
not locking up with me.
J-Man,
good morning, yo. If you guys have not checked out J-Man's Kickstarter, go check it out. Look, you can use the QR codes. Show the man some love. You can also go to his website, I believe, if you need to pick up some stuff. But it's a great little futuristic story, filled with action. For those of you who love action, there is action. All right, so please.
In the chat,
it hasn't started yet. Listen, it's gonna start soon. Look, the QR code has to take you to the welcome page. But whatever, I do have this ash can. It is lovely. I very much appreciate it. But listen, J-Man, every chance I get, I'm telling people to go look for it. So that's it. They're going.
Casino Comics he's got a good explanation for the Bug Wars. He said it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with Conan the Barbarian thrown in. That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And some Sword of Adam. It's still got,
honestly, it sounds like Warlord, Sword of Adam, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids got thrown into a blender and came out good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a 1-of-1 ash can? Bitch, please. What? Oh my God, I don't know what to do with myself right now. Oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta preserve this. Hold on.
1-of-1. You need to quit throwing that around like that and put it in something.
I'm throwing it around. I'm like, oh no.
That's pretty cool. 1-of-1. I just got the Hush ash can from my friend Sandman Mystery Comics. So I'm looking forward to that one. So he got the first one off the press then, right?
I did. I didn't know what the first one off the press.
Well, see. He said it's not 1-of-1, but it is the first one. So you got the first one. Yes.
Oh my God. Hold on.
That's awesome. Okay,
it's in its new home.
I need to check out this Kickstarter. If you're muted. There you go.
It's in its new home.
Like I was telling the chat, I got the ash.
You got the Hush ash can?
Yeah, I bought it like on my friend Sandman Mystery Comics. Jim. I think you've met him. And he read the first one. I bought Hush Batman 158 plus a variant cover of Batman 158 and the ash can for $6.
Incredible.
So he didn't like it. I don't think is what it was, and he was like getting rid of it. So yeah, Trev's like it wasn't even bagged. Tisk tisk.
Well, because I was like, oh, this is so nice. I didn't know. I thought I was like, oh, let me promote this every chance I get. He's like, that's the first one. I'm like,
he thought it was
so
just a
anyhow,
little basic
please
bitch.
find it on Kickstarter, bookmark it. I actually posted something interesting. What does that mean?
I think he's talking to Trev in the chat.
Oh, okay. I have the weirdest.
Okay, can I bring up something that might be a touchy subject for everybody? But it is a touchy subject to me because I'm kind of don't know what to make of it.
Okay.
The casting for this movie, the new Avengers movie. Okay, we got look, I like James Marsden. I like all those actors that were in the original X-Men movies. But aren't they getting a little long in the tooth? And are these going to be? And I see. I got this. The things I think. So are we going to be stuck with these as the X-Men going forward, or are they just in this movie? And if they bring back Anna Paquin as Rogue, I am going to riot. I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to go to the Marvel offices, and I'm going to throw a hissy fit. I'm going to act like one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Wait.
No, first of all, it's okay if they bring Anna Paquin back because I love her.
Real dirty in that movie. I'm sorry.
No, of course they did. My point, and I still have
her, but look, they did that character dirty in that whole series.
Yes. Anyhow,
sorry.
So a long time ago. Anyhow, we were told that when they acquired Fox, that all of these people were still under contract, right? And those, so Anna's sick. She's not returning. That's terrible news. Says Kingdom of Nerds.
I'm sorry. I like her. I
like her. But the point is, and did you ever see the road cuts?
Great in the role. I just don't think they wrote it right.
They never, whatever. We're not even going to get into it. There's lots of things they didn't do right. Okay, look at X-Men Apocalypse. But anyhow, all these people are under contract. I just think they're going to I cannot hold a thought. The point is, they're going to do all this stuff until we get Secret War, and Secret War will usher in our new Marvel age. And if they do it well or wisely, hopefully they'll reintroduce the characters we love with younger actors to maintain the franchise some, just like a comic book. I don't know if they have the wherewithal and the cojones to do it, but that would probably be the best way to go about it. Okay? That said,
or they'll just do something and we'll get another bullcrap storyline like Mary Jane as Venom. Ooh.
Sony, you know what? I'm surprised Sony didn't try that already.
About Amazing Spider-Man.
Again, Mark said Secret Wars is the movie version of beating a dead horse with no dead horse. If they do, and listen, they should do what's right, but apparently, not once. There are two dead horses in my analogy. Yeah.
There's two dead horses. I don't know. It's kind of like the equivalent of Mary Jane being Venom is like a nut shot right to the family jewels for every Marvel fan out there. But whatever, right?
The history of Mary Jane and the symbiotes is so deeply covered. It's kind of like, what are y'all doing? But okay. All right, let's move into my next favorite segment. So I
That's fun
dug up
time to do.
for today's entertainment. I dug up the 2021 cover price year in review. Now, of course, you know, one section of the year in review it did feature, you know, non-first printings, and that's why I whipped out ENIAC. But these are the main movers and shakers of 2021. So in the number 10 position is Carnage Part 1, Amazing Spider-Man 361. Sir, do we rate it or hate it?
Rate it.
Rate it. What's it going to be? 1 through 5?
5.
Right? You feel it's really an important part of Spider-Man history?
Yep. Got Carnage.
I mean, I
Carnage
like it.
Still around.
Carnage is around.
always
Carnage
been
is a problem.
Yep.
You know, Carnage is currently Eddie Brock. Like, you know, and that in itself is already pushing some boundaries.
Yeah. And the other thing about Carnage is, like, if you think Venom gives no fucks, Carnage really gives no fucks.
Yeah. But hey, you know, Eddie's trying to.
That's why it's called Carnage. Yeah.
Let's see if Eddie has a pleasant effect on him. Amazing Spider-Man 361 came out in 1992. In 2021, 1,099 recorded total units sold, and the total value of those units, $463,916.
And I remember when this book came out in 92, it was a hot book.
Yes, it was.
92. Everybody was wanting to have their hands on a copy of this.
Yep. And apparently in 2021, it was still pretty hot.
Yeah. And mine got stolen like 20 years ago, but, you know, whatever.
Terrible. But we're not out of the Valley of the Symbiotes yet. Next up, Venom number 1. So Venom number 1 in the year 2021 sold 1,172 units for a total value of $64,661. So Mr. Lethal Protector here was not doing as well as his offspring, but it was still a very popular book. Do we rate it or hate it?
Rate it.
That's
I think
right.
I'm going to give it a 4. It's an iconic cover, but like I like my Venom. I don't know, but like if I'm going to go, why I give it a 4 is because the penultimate Venom book, of course, is, you know, like ASM 300 in my opinion. But if that's what I think of when I think of that. I think of that one, and then the and this is a very like obscure reference, but there's a Fantastic Four where they get the symbiote off of Peter Parker.
Yep.
You know, and it breaks out, and then it finds Eddie Brock, and so that's like people don't even, you know, that's not even listed as a key in Key Collector, by the way, but it should be. But anyway,
which is funny considering the things that they do have as keys. Unbelievable.
Oh, I know. But this cover's iconic. I mean, this is like pure 90s, right? You got the red foil, right? I believe it was foil, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I held one in my hands, but it's, I mean, what else can you say about it? Look at the cover. Look, it's got the Venom, all the, like, it looks like he needs to go to the dentist. He needs to go to the orthodontist and get those teeth capped or something. I don't know if he's British or something. Pre-war, you know, they had problems, but, you know, that's my attempt to be funny. And you got, like he just looks like Venom's supposed to look like there. I mean, it's perfect. When I think of Venom, I visualize, usually a lot of people probably go to that cover. You know what I mean? If you visualize him in your head, you probably look at that. You're like, you visualize that cover in your head.
I would say that is fair. You know,
this cover in ASP 316, you know, the iconic 316 was just
absolutely.
I'm looking for a copy. If anybody's got a mid-grade copy out there, oh, look here, you got Bruce.
Oh, wow. Kingdom of Nerds generously donated 10 memberships. James Abel, Comics with Izzyverse, Gene Mello, Wayne Deacon, Trev the Shipping Guru, Pocan Joe, KDBM, Three Good Nerds, Mama Bear Doll, Space Case Collectibles, Algorithm, and Mr. Spock have all new memberships. Thank you, Kingdom of Nerds. Let's give you something special.
Thanks, Bruce.
Let's give you something extra special. I forgot. He likes more hair on their body. Wait. All right, Bruce. That's all I got for now. As soon as I find some fuzzier love to work on.
He's more of the Burt Reynolds type, right? Tom Selleck, got the
right. So he needs. Remember when Tom peak? He's peak. Right. He needs peak Tom Selleck. He needs peak Tom Selleck, right? You know, right? He can't do Peach Fuzz. We need peak. Remember when Tom Selleck had the like super sexy spread? He needs that.
You ever get the feeling when you're little, you know, and you think, my mom would risk it all for Tom Selleck.
My mom would only risk it all for Robert Redford at the time.
Yeah. My mom was a big Tom Selleck.
Yeah, hold on. Let's give you...
I was too, though. I mean, Magnum P.I. Wouldn't we agree that Magnum P.I.'s got one of the greatest TV show intros of all time? They're flying the helicopter over the island, and you got the Ferrari. I mean, you got Tom Selleck.
There is
Tom right there. He started out. He got his start as a model.
Yep.
He got his start as a model. Selleck. Hey, Cliff, this is kind of off subject. Well, not really, because it kind of includes him. But do you remember? You're old enough like me to remember Battle of the Network Stars. You remember watching that on TV?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course.
So two of the guys that were always like owning everybody on there. When Tom Selleck was on there, you knew he was going to dominate like in the pool. And like Mark Harmon.
Yep.
He was a quarterback at UCLA. He made his ass on that show.
Yeah, no, those two were, and they were very competitive. Very competitive. All right. Let me thank JSS.
Oh, yeah. I'm having like.
You know, I know men love her for a different reason than my gay ass does, but I just love her. All right, next up.
I don't know. She seems pretty good.
She seems great. Next up on our list, the mighty have truly fallen. 1,305 units were sold in 2021 with a total market value of $412,171. And you know they can't repeat that in the year 2025. It's the Eternals #1. Rate it or hate it.
Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble here probably. I really don't much like the Eternals much. I like the art. I give it I'll rate it because it's Jack Kirby, so I'll give it a 3. But as far as story, I give it a 1. I don't really get it. I'm sorry. It's like the Inhumans. I never got it. I'm sorry. I guess I'm not cool, but there we are.
I'm giving it a 3 because I dig it, and because I do feel it has, you know, its own valuable, unique place in comic book collectdom. However, it's definitely not for everybody, and you know. And look, even Mad Spidey still needs a copy of this. Look at that. And Comic Toby says we're cooking.
Look, I know it's kind of like got a New Gods vibe to it that he did, but I like New Gods way better than I did the Eternals. Is all I'll say. I think
understood.
But I mean, I can't give it less than a 3 because Jack Kirby, you know, is the king.
Yeah.
I love Jack Kirby, but if it was something else, so I guess, you know, we all have different tastes, you know. So there you go.
I give it credit for having a unique story.
And maybe because I didn't like the movie, I'm being a little bit more harder on it because I didn't like the movie at all.
You know, I do actually like the movie because I really love mythology and I love the way the movie used it. My biggest gripe with the movie is there's too many. There's some very slow moments that it suffers from.
There's so many characters to keep up with too. I guess that was my main
problem. But you know what? But they're a package deal, and I accept that. And like the story is there, you know. Madam.
Hey, madam.
Good morning, beautifuls. Y'all are beautiful too, madam. Good morning. Thank you. All right. Next up, number 7 on our list is one we should all know and love. With 1,371 units sold in 2021, right? With a total value of sales $1,416,454. What do you think it is?
Repeat that again.
It sold 1,371 units in 2021. The total value of those sales was $1,416,454.
I don't know. Oak 181?
No. In the year 2021, it's Ultimate Fallout.
I don't know. No. Well, I was trying to think of something that's real popular. You know?
Yeah. But I'm saying it makes sense that of all the books that should have such explosive value in 2021. Look at this. Trev already gave it a 5.
I'll give it a 5, of course. I'm going to rate it.
God bless you.
Miles Morales is Spider-Man now. Let's just face it, okay? I think we need to come to reality that Miles is probably more popular, especially with the younger generation, as Spider-Man than Peter Parker is. I mean, I think it's time to come to that cold hard reality, even though I love Ultimate Spider-Man. My gripe with that is why couldn't Jonathan Hickman write Amazing Spider-Man, but, you know, whatever. I'm not the one. I don't get paid the big bucks to come up with that. But I have a complicated relationship in history with this book, Cliff, because I'm going to tell you a story. Back when this book came out, I was at a comic shop and I saw it on the shelf. And I'm like, oh, they're replacing Peter Parker? Well, he's not my Spider-Man. I don't want nothing to do with that. So I passed it up. So I'm sure now if I want to get a copy, it's going to cost a lot more than cover price. You know what I'm saying? But so there you got it. But yeah, I give it a 5. I think Miles is just a great character. The kid's got heart. I love his backstory with his family and his background and everything. And I just think it's a great character. So I think this book's probably going to be a solid book to collect for years to come. What do you think?
Of course. I think it's great. I love Miles. And you know what? I wasn't even sure I was going to love Miles. But I remember picking up this and the subsequent issues. And I was like, you know, I'm really digging his power set and the whole, like that the spider that bit him was like different and different stuff was happening, you know. But yeah, listen, the original Ultimate Spider-Man run, obviously everyone's memory is short. That was a magnificent run. How many times in history can you look at a team like the team on Ultimate Spider-Man and said they did 100 issues together? You know, there's not too many for the books, you know. So I'm just really happy with it. I love it. Highly recommend. And currently it's down, so you can afford it. Snatch it.
I've read a reprint of it, obviously, or like a facsimile, but it's and I read it digitally. I think way back. It's a very good story in that book. You know what I mean? Like it's really like emotional. Like it's really cathartic because you're losing Peter Parker. And at the time, I mean, I know we bring people back. It's comic books, but it still hit hard when you're like thinking about all the times you read Spider-Man and that he dies in this. You know, had the same got my feelings a little bit too when they, you know, after the post Civil War like death of Captain America. Even though I knew he wasn't dead, but it's like these characters. It's like I had a discussion with somebody about like I felt really sad and depressed over Val Kilmer, and they're like, Matt, why you don't know him? Why are you acting like you just lost your uncle or something, right? And I'm like, well, as a kid, especially me, I don't know anybody's experience. I was the only child, disabled. I couldn't really play normally like the other kids, even though I could play. But if I overdid it, then it was bad. And so I watched a lot of TV and movies, read a lot of comic books. And you grow up with something like that. It's like if you grow up with a comic book character like Captain America, Spider-Man, or like watch an actor like Val Kilmer, and you watch him by the time you're as my grandpa would say, I'm gonna talk a little redneck now, or hillbilly, knee high to a grasshopper. You kind of feel like you know these people, you know what I mean? And you, even though you don't really know them, but you get like a peek into like their process and artists and stuff, but also of a character like we grew up with, like Peter Parker. So it's like, you have an emotional attachment to it. So I don't know.
Listen,
I know I probably elaborated too much.
The one that bowled me over and I was not ready for it was Carrie Fisher, and I tell people that all the time.
That was, yep, I remember that.
Thank you, Christina. We love you. Feel better.
She was such a funny person. She did that. You remember the one woman show she did called Wishful Drinking?
Yes.
They had like a special HBO. That's one of the funniest HBO specials I've ever seen.
Listen, I have all of her audiobooks. She had a wild family, didn't she? Yeah, I have all her audiobooks on CD, and I bought them on Audible like a psycho. And like I played them, and when I listen to them, it's like, it was like losing an aunt. It was like having your aunt sitting in the living room telling you her old Hollywood stories, And I have never finished, because I get so emotional every time. I cannot finish The Princess Diarist. I have been powering through The Princess Diarist for so freaking long. I cannot finish it because I feel like when I finish it, it's the end of saying goodbye. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anyhow, now that we've had an emotional roller coaster, our next book at number 6 sold 1,376 units, right? That's 5 more units than Ultimate Fallout number 4. But the total value in the sales of those units was merely $190,644. And that book is Moon Knight number 1.
Oh. I rate it. I'll give it I'll give it a 5 just because, I love the artist who did this series. And I like Moon Knight. Moon Knight's an interesting character. You don't know what to make of him. I love the show, and I was bummed. I heard they're not going to make another season. Is that true? But anyway, I like this character. He always had like an air of mystery to him. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't figure out what was going on. I don't know. And just a great character. But anyway, and there's been some iconic. I'm going to say his name wrong, so everybody don't kill me too much in the comments here. But Sienkiewicz, right? Am I saying it wrong? Or I think it's Sienkiewicz.
Bill Sienkiewicz. You're close. It's one of the ways I've heard it pronounced. You're okay. Also, it's Bill Sienkiewicz, right? Sienkiewicz, I think, is more appropriate.
Oh, Sienkiewicz. Okay. Yeah. I hear it mispronounced so many times. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. And then
he did some iconic covers.
Then he's one of those people where you meet him in person and you don't get a straight answer. Are you there, Matt?
Yeah.
Are we out of sync? Can you hear me?
It's some every now and then you're breaking up every now and then. I couldn't hear you. So
yeah, the same thing's happening. I'm looking at you, and your face did one of these, or whatever. Anyhow,
yeah, I don't know. It might be my connection.
Sienkiewicz is how he pronounces it. Says Thomas O'Donnell. Thank you, Thomas. Because the man has never corrected me. And you know who else has never corrected me? J.M. DeMatteis. I've called him DeMatteis a million times to his face. Not a word. Not a word. And I've met him multiple times. Oh, my goodness. Anyhow, that said, your rating on this book, sir?
5, just because I love the artist, and
I can't blame you at all.
I mean, and you need an iconic, not just for this cover, but think of all the iconic art he did for like New Mutants and Dazzler. But yeah, that's the first 3 that I think of when I think of him, and that beautiful Batman issue 400 cover he did. Oh, chef's kiss. All right. And you know, the Mark Spector Moon Knight character is really cool. I mean,
listen,
he's got a cool
I like the
costume.
character.
He's got a cool history.
I love the personalities are on display on the main cover.
Yep.
Anyhow, I can't give it a 5 in good conscience, but with all my feelings combined, I'm giving it a 4. You know, it's a solid collectible. Next up on our list at number 5, 1,483 units sold for a total value of $63,488. But clearly it was on everyone's mind. Maximum Carnage Part 1 and Spider-Man Unlimited number 1. And back then, $3.95 for a book was a big deal.
That was a big ask back then, especially. Now we'd be like, oh, that's all it cost? Well, I don't know about you, but I remember when it was 75 cents and went to $1. I got pissed. But, I mean, it's kind of funny to think about now. Yeah, we're in the end of an, not to change, we're in the end of an era because McFarlane Spawn's not going to be $2.99 anymore.
That's right.
I'm going to give it like a 2, but I'll rate it. I mean, it was a good story, but I don't know.
I mean, ultimately, I have some nice childhood memories. I'm also going with a 2. Trev gave it a 1. You know, I mean, I don't feel like Maximum Carnage is known for too many spectacular moments. I did appreciate when they were discussing if Firestar should use her ability to kill Carnage, and because Carnage was vulnerable to fire, and she is microwave flame, so she could annihilate him. And she's like, whoa, I'm not a killer. So like there was like a moment of debate, and I really enjoyed that part of the story. All right, next up is a favorite of Rob's Fat Stack.
Gave it a 0.5.
Yeah, see, the memories are bad.
Oh,
the next one is our next comic at number 4 is a favorite of Rob Fat Stacks of Comics. It sold 1,538 units at a sales total of $74,754. And that is Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, number 1.
I will rate it. And it gets a... just because it kind of gets me in the nostalgia, because just look at this cover, it reminds me of like, okay, I'm going to put on a Pearl Jam CD and get this comic. It's got this brand new Spider-Man 2099, the comic shop. I'm wearing my Nirvana t-shirt with my flannel shirt over it, my Doc Martens, and I'm reading Spider-Man 2099, number 1. I give it a 4. Maybe that's high, but I don't know.
Well, Rob would definitely give this a 5, I feel. I love me some Miguel O'Hara. I love me some Spider-Man 2099. I love me some 2099. But ultimately, look, Matt, I think Madam is talking about Maximum Carnage. Convoluted and confusing. I got to agree. There's a lot of chapters of I don't know what. Oh, my God. Is she giving Spidey a 0.2? A Spidey 2099? Oh. Anyhow, I'm giving it a 4. I love him. Love it. Love it for all of us. Next up, number 3 on our list was published in 1992. Boy, 1992 was it was just a hot time for the Marvel of it all. Published in 1992, 1,587 units were sold in 2021. Total sales value $139,154. It's one of my favorites. It's on the wall behind me, and it's X-Men number 4, the first Omega Red.
Yes. Yep, that was good. Rate it. Yeah, I'm going to rate it for sure. We got Jim Lee here. What's not to love about it? We got the X-Men in all their glory. You got Omega Red showing up. I give it a 5. Sorry, I give it a 5 because, like, when I think of the 1990s, I think of the X-Men animated series, I think of grunge, but I think of grunge music and this book. This book was a phenomenon, wasn't it? I mean, it was just like, boom. The first issue of this series stole what? Was still the highest selling comic book of all time. Had 5 different covers, and then like it just excited everybody again. The X-Men. I mean, I know that Jim Lee didn't last long on this because he went to Image, but
he reinvigorated the
anyway,
market.
I'm getting distracted. Yeah, I know, and I know it's oversaturated. I know it kind of later on may have caused, the beginning of the end for Marvel at the time, because they went bankrupt in '96, I think it was. But for this one glorious moment, for a kid that grew up reading Uncanny X-Men, to find out the X-Men just exploding everywhere. We had toys, video games. We had, like, how many series was there? There was X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Wolverine, X-Factor, X-Force, Excalibur. So many books. And they were, I mean,
really
to the point, it got ridiculous to where I think 30. It made Chris Claremont pull his hair out and run away. Yeah. But think about that. They were asking Claremont to do all this. And he's finally like, Calgon, take me away.
Probably.
I guess it's because it got, at the end it did get kind of convoluted. But this book, this cover, it gets a 5. Don't care what anybody says. That's a hill I'm willing to die on.
Yeah. So let's see. Around 1992, we had X-Men, Uncanny X-Men.
You've been able to tell something, Cliff. There's a pattern showing up here.
What's that?
I didn't hear you, but sorry, it's breaking up again. But
all right. So I just looked it up. So in 1992, we had X-Men. New Mutants becoming X-Force, X-Factor, and Uncanny, X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force. Oh, well, it looks like that was it at the time. And of course, they had the X-Men, the animated series comic at the time, if we're going to count that as well. But still, I love this book. I'm super, super ridiculously biased, and I don't care. So I'm giving it a 5 because I've got my big, beautiful bad boy graded and signed up there. And of course, and I remember picking this up off the rack, what's soon going to be 33 years ago, or is now 33 years ago. So I love it. I cherish it. I'm all in. All right. Next up.
And I guess we're starting to see a pattern develop here, right? Anything that was in 92 we like. For the most part.
Next up from Marvel 1992, 1,755 units sold in 2021, and the total value of sales $108,403, and that is the supersized 30th anniversary issue of The Amazing Spider-Man issue 365.
Oh yeah, with the terrible hologram. Well, okay. This is actually I guess I'll give this one a 3. Because the hologram was kind of like,
Yeah, but it's an ASM 15.
I'm giving it only gets a 3 because it's.
Yeah. I don't remember too.
Well, still, I'll give it a 3.
This is the issue where Aunt May dies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3 as well. It's noteworthy. The gimmick was fun. That's about it.
Yeah, Matt, I'm a sucker for hologram and a foil clip.
It's all true.
The way to my heart is just give me a foil cover, a hologram on it. Do both at the same time. Hologram lenticular foil cover, and then you're just gonna. I was like, take my money now. Here. Let me get my checkbook.
I don't know if I can ever accomplish it.
Good soul.
I don't know if I could ever accomplish it, but I will want to try. All right. In our number 1 spot from 1992, and I'm not going to tell you the publisher because that'll make it obvious. 1,957 units sold in 2021 for a total sales value of $156,174. Do you want to take a guess? Matt, you were frozen.
I know. I'm having trouble. Sorry.
All right. Tacoma Comics and Justin Birch and Trevor
here,
all
though.
taking. All right. Justin Birch says Spawn. Tacoma Comics says Spawn. Trev the Shipping Guru says Spawn. Madam's being very hopeful for Wonder Woman, but that was not a good year for Wonder Woman. Hate to let you know.
What year was
that
it?
cover
I
movie?
didn't hear any of it. That's my.
All right. Everyone is guessing Spawn number
I'm
one.
just gonna
And
guess
guess
Spawn
what?
'cause I did.
It's Spawn number one. So yeah, I feel like it's appropriate that we have a Canadian. We have a Canadian popping in.
We'll stand on guard for thee, Canada. Well, we used to.
That's right.
Anyway.
Well, folks, thank you for playing. Oh my God, I can't find it.
Oh yeah.
Rate it or hate it. There we go.
Do we? Oh. I'm going to rate it. I have a copy of it that Austin LeMay gave me, signed by Todd's father. And I just happen to have it on hand at all times. I have it in a holster by my chair. And
perfect.
I'm going to rate it. I'm going to give it a 5 because it was the start of this comic book company. The little company that could image when Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and all of them, Mark Silvestri and Rob Liefeld all got together and said, you know what? They were like, what's his name? Albert Finney and Network. They're like, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. They're like, you know what? You're being put on notice. We're all leaving. And I love the story that Todd told about it when they were going to the elevator and the editor runs to the elevator, stops the door, and he says, you guys are welcome back if it doesn't work out. And the door's shut. Todd looked at Jim Lee and said, these assholes don't think we can do it, right? And they proved them wrong. I mean, I know they had their ups and downs, but like at the time when it came out, Spawn 1. Okay, look, we got to remember, it was a beast. It was everywhere. It was the engine that could. It was blowing up. They were throwing copies of that off the shelves, right? It was flying off the shelves. Of course, they made too many of them, so they're not worth that much unless you have a 9.8 or something signed by them. But does anybody remember Spawn Fever? You had the comic book, then the toys came out. You had the TV show on HBO. You had the movie. I mean, the movie wasn't that great, but you know,
I enjoyed the movie.
I give it a 5. Sorry, because I'm biased. Because the Todd father is one of the reasons I'm even into comics. So I was going to say, it was the right time for me.
This is the second or third time this weekend that someone has mentioned Todd not being a great writer and poor writing, but I gotta tell you, Spawn number 1 is fine. Like, he's not the greatest writer ever, but I did not feel terribly lost reading Spawn number 1, you know, and it was enough for me to want to come back for number 2, you know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think who were writers that just devastated me.
And though, you know, I mean, maybe he's not Ernest Hemingway. We're never going to confuse Todd McFarlane with Chris Claremont or Frank Miller on that level of writing, right? Or Alan Moore. But yeah, it is a compelling story, though, right? Like, what would you do to see your loved one again? How far would you stoop? Would you sell your soul?
Right, just to get back.
And then you get this man's trying to come to the grips with the fact that he doesn't even know he's dead, right? In the first issue. He doesn't really, he has to come to grips with the fact that she's remarried. They never could have kids. And she remarries his best friend, or she gets married to his best friend, has a child. And, it shows you, like, you make a deal like that, be careful when you make a deal with the devil, because you might not like what you get, right? So,
yeah.
I think we may be realizing that as
It's so funny
a
because like
country, but that's another story altogether.
well,
When you
let's not
make
get
a
into
deal with
art
the devil, like
imitating
he
life.
doesn't really like play by the rules. Like, yeah, right, Cliff. Though, like, yeah, he brings it back 5 years later. He's horribly disfigured, and so, but like this character is like. Did you even imagine, like, when this book came out, that this would be at like 360 some issues at this point?
I know, right?
I don't know how it survived at some point.
400 is going to be approaching.
Barely even had a low print run in the 200s.
Right before, and right around. So like I would say around like the 180s to the early 200s is like this circle of low print. If you're a fan of Spawn, check out Iced Earth Dark Saga album. Interesting. Let's see here.
Hey, Shane. Shane's here.
Hey, Shane. Good morning. I'm positive yet, but on X-Men reread, I'm starting to believe Claremont was just sharing what he learned on his vacations. Newsstand edition of Spawn 137.
I'll tell you what, though, I was a bit curious.
All right, well, that's good.
And like, remember when he had the whole slew of like homage covers? He did all those homage covers of other comics and movie posters and stuff. I thought that was cool when they started doing that with 200s. And I mean, I know a lot of people probably fell off that book after like what, issue 65 back. You had the big crash, but like, if you want to show like 5 books that epitomize the early 90s, you got to show Spawn 1, ASM 300, X-Men number 1, X-Force, and yes, X-Force number 1, even though I know, and the Death of Superman. Would that be right?
Yeah, of course.
Or maybe the Breaking of the Bat cover.
Yeah, and I guess we got to throw Scarlet.
What's the books you would
Scarlet Spider. We got to throw Scarlet Spider in there.
Yep. And Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
It's just that's what I think of when I think of that era. I know 300 was not in the 90s, but I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. But it kind of that was kind of like the kickoff of that, like the new artist revolution. Like I remember before that, I don't know if you remember, Cliff, but sometimes the writers were held on a higher pedestal than the artists were.
Okay,
but then it seemed like it kind of came down and this.
Right. This is something I've genuinely gotten into discussions with people in the industry about this. So like multiple times. Like I was talking to Phil Jimenez once, and it was at a time where artists were thought artists were very well loved, especially when Wizard magazine came out. It really put a focus on like, this is Jim Lee. Oh, Stephen Platt is hot right now. It put a heavy focus on art, and I thought it raised awareness. But then a few years ago, I'm talking to Phil Jimenez at FlameCon, and he goes, "Oh, well, people always, put more value on the writers." And I'm like, "What?" Like I was like, I don't even know people like going crazy with the writers. But I again, like for a while, it came like head to head, and now there's a disparity again. And I gotta tell you, if I hate your artwork, I don't want the book. That's a big deal with Amazing Spider-Man. I am so not interested in JR's work,
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and there are books that have not made it for me because like there's books I've read that I enjoyed with the bad artwork. Like I'm not a fan of the artwork on Kick-Ass, but I enjoyed Kick-Ass, but like there are some books where like it just does not work for me at all. Can't do it, can't make it through it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about the
Nope, you broke up again. Matt.
I'm number 1.
Oh no.
connection problems, but I'm having connection problems. But like the what I was saying was spot number one. Okay, I keep breaking up, but what I was trying to say was, is a shot across the bow at the big two, like you're not the only one on the block anymore.
Yes, of course.
And I believe it's still going on today. Like these artists don't want to re-sign with Marvel.
Well, they clearly weren't being respected or treated well, and that's a problem. All right. But with that, I believe we've come to the end of our beautiful morning. Matt, thank you. Thank you for serving as my sub today. I appreciate you as always. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Oh, I didn't get to show off my other books, but
show up. Oh, wait, did you bring a 5?
Yeah, I brought 5 that had a theme.
Oh, well, hold on. How rude of me. Hold on. Let us prepare for the 5-finger shuffle.
I got them out just for this special occasion.
Yay.
All right. Well, the theme's going to kind of piggyback off what we've been talking about with artists.
That's okay.
My theme is just Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. I thought it was simple and elegant, so we'll start with this one. There's not much else to say about that. It's been often imitated, never duplicated. Well, except by Todd. And so yeah, I love that one. I got that one recently, and I still need 300. I'll go through them real quick. We won't. This one is like at the time, you know, Todd was the future, but he was giving respect to the past, wasn't he? You got Spider-Man, and you know, he puts down here and signs his name right next to Siegel and Schuster.
Love it.
I love the cover. I love this comic. Next up, we got some. I had to pull the slabs out. I had them put up, but you know, it's a 9-4, but it's still. But it's you know, a classic. That was the last book he did. I think the last cover he did for Amazing Spider-Man, and it's just a great book. I know they call it the Nut Shot, but I don't think he's actually doing that. But it does look like he is.
You know what? I
have the statue of this very one.
In my young adult life, did I think it was a nut shot? Never once.
I didn't either. Then you got this iconic little cover with Captain America, the Sentinel of Liberty. I wish we had a Captain America right now, but you know, it is what it is. I got the statue of this over here to my left, and it looks like I'm pointing to the right, but you know, reversed angle. Actually, the shield is on the other side of my shoulder. It's just reversed. There you go. And but I love that. This is like when I started getting really into Spider-Man was during this run. And it
was a great run. Baggie. Wasn't the assassination plot
like,
his
last? Yeah, and this book has a very significant history to me. Not this exact book, but this one like this. This issue 322. I bought this off the newsstand. First one I bought with my own allowance money that I got from doing chores. I saw this cover on the spinner rack at the 7-Eleven, and I was like, oh, look at Spider-Man. Look at him. He's lifting these guys. He's got them webbed up over his head, showing you how powerful the web slinger can be. And all these other guys laying around, these terrorists, and the plot of this, the assassin plot.
The assassination
one of my favorite storylines this day. Maybe I'm a little had all these different guest characters come in, like Silver Sable and Paladin, Captain America, Sabretooth showed up. Then they come find out the Red Skull's behind it all. And I can't say enough good things about this era of Spider-Man, and it makes me sad to look at this and to see what it's become today. But at one point we had this though, so that's okay. That.
Amazing Spider-Man will be great again. Just everybody. Oh my God, I can't believe I used those words. But everybody, just remember the number one thing: If Marvel's not making you happy, fuck with their money. Don't buy Amazing Spider-Man. Do not buy Amazing Spider-Man. And you can always catch it in the dollar bins.
That's true. I have a friend. He's trying to keep the whole run going, and he says I don't get them when they come out. I just wait; they'll be in a dollar bin.
It's true because, like, what?
Right.
What are the odds that one of them may turn into a $20 book that you have to chase down, and the rest you'll be like, look at me getting them 90% off. But that was really good.
You know what? At this point, I feel like Marvel's just. I think Marvel's just sitting there counting their money, laughing, and going, "Suckers."
Yes, I genuinely feel that way. So, Matt, for your 5-finger shuffle, I'm gonna give it the full. I'm gonna give it the full dance.
But might I add before, not to go on an ASM rant, but they're not. The thing is that the sad thing is, I know they can do better because I read Ultimate Spider-Man every month.
Yep.
I read Ultimates every month. One World Under Doom is actually pretty good. I had mixed feelings going in. I like what the Incredible Hulk. I like how Nick Klein, the art on it. I like the writing on it. I like the story of Incredible Hulk. I like Red Hulk. The fact that they brought Machine Man and Deathlock back, just take my money now. But then there's other things they do. It's just misstep after. When it comes to Spider-Man is your bread and butter, your legacy character. Them and the Fantastic Four are the reason there even is a Marvel. And Thor's another one. They just can't seem to get Thor or Spider-Man right now. I don't know what the problem is, but they keep screwing those characters. I don't know. I mean, I'm convinced the only reason people buy Immortal Thor is because Alex Ross does the cover art. Because I read it, and it ain't nothing. I'm sorry. I found myself wanting, is all I'll say. And that's all I'll say. That's my rant for the day. Sorry. I've ranted. No, it's actually my last one. Sorry. All right. But, what do I know?
Sorry, I had to make some thoughts. Comic Toby said, I don't think 50 cents from one person can make a difference to a $1 billion IP, but that's just me. And it worked before. I was at New York Comic Con when Dan Buckley was listening to retailers complain, and he yelled at the room and said, cut your orders to the bone. Well, guess what? Every one of them motherfuckers went home and cut their Marvel orders to the bone. And he came back real humble the next Diamond Breakfast. So that's it. You know what? And if Marvel keeps fucking around, just stop buying Marvel fucking comics. Watch that shit turn around. All right? It's very powerful. All right? Our dollars always matter. And our numbers have strength. We literally keep this business freaking alive. All right. And now more than ever, because there is a billion challenges coming our way. So it's really gonna happen now. So that's it. Mess with their money. I don't care. All damn day. Go down trying if you have to. And MJ, oh my God, it's so good to see you. Love you, man. Love you. The real reason publishing side makes money is because licensing goes to their accounting, not Disney's. Sure, there's some of that, but also Amazing Spider-Man still is a huge seller for them because people keep buying the damn comic because they don't want to disrupt their run. People keep buying the damn comic because they want this really fancy exclusive cover that was published. And stores keep buying the damn comic because they feel the need to sell the 1 in 25 or 1 in 50 or 1 in 100 because they want to try and make some of their money back. It's really complicated. I do not have all the answers, but I have one answer, and that one answer is if you do not like the title, stop buying it. That is my rant for today.
That's what I did.
I was about to end the show like 11 minutes ago. Just stop buying it. I love you folks. Everyone have a great day. Don't forget to check me out on Omnidog's Vault today at 5 p.m. Eastern or whatever that means in your time zone because I have genuinely lost track I'm pretty sure it's 7 a.m. in Australia for that. You know, Sandman Mystery Comics, what do you have to say? That's right. Always say, if you don't like books, don't buy. We don't, then they cry. Don't like movies, don't watch. We won't, and they cry more. Obviously, that's been a whole thing, too. Let's see. Everybody going to a hands-off 2025 protest today? I don't even know. I can't keep track of everything. I can't. MJ, love you. You have a great weekend. You're great. Madam, you're great. Love you. Have a great weekend. Paolo, love you. Great weekend. Will, love you. Great weekend. Scotty, Marcus, everybody, love you. Great weekend. Circumstances, go to his channel. Go look at that review that I'm a part of for the Deviant. It's great. And we already got a stamp of approval from the artist. So I loved it. Hall, yeah, I missed it. Have a great weekend. You know, J-Med, yo, as soon as you need me to put this on full blast, you tell me. I love you, baby. All right. Find a hands-off in your area. I live in too quiet of a town. I'll figure it out. Kevin, love you. Have a great day. I will Tacoma, good looking out for everyone. I got to figure out what this is. I don't even know what it is. I'm living in such a bubble. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Love you, folks. Again, thank you for being here. Y'all take